This first video is going to cover the answers to the first column. So we're going to start with top with multiplication. And what I'm going to do to make it easiest for me is I'm just going to multiply across. So 6 times 7 is 42. And then if I have a to the third and a to the ninth, then I have 3 a's multiplied together and 9 a's multiplied together, and then I multiply all of them together, which means I have 12 a's multiplied together, and then I have b. I have 5 over here, and I have 6 over here, so 5 and 6, that makes 11 all total. Over 3 times 28 is 84. And then if I have a to the fourth and a to the fifth, 4 and 5 is 9. And then b to the second and b to the third, 2 and 3 makes 5. So if I just go straight across, then I just add. And now if I simplify like I normally do with numbers, I will take 42 over 84, which I can divide the top by 42 and I get 1. Divide the bottom by 42, I get 2. So my fraction is going to have a 2 in the bottom and a 1 in the top. And then I'm going to look at if I cross out, if I have 12 a's on top and 9 a's on bottom and I start canceling things out, I'm going to cancel out 9 from the bottom and 9 from the top, which leaves me with 3. So I have a to the third. And then if I cross out 5 b's in the bottom and 5 of the 11, I get 6 left. So b to the 6th. So I have 1a cubed b to the 6 over 2, which I can simplify because in math we're too lazy to write the 1. So I'm just going to make that a to the third, b to the 6th, all over 2. And rational expressions are ratios, which means a fraction. So I'm going to leave it in fraction form. Number 2, we're going to take a look. And since it's division, I need to change it. I need to flip it over. So division becomes multiplication by the reciprocal. So we're going to start and rewrite. So my first fraction is 15k m to the 12th n to the 7th over 8 m to the 9th n to the 3rd. So 9. And then I change division to multiplication, which times, and then I flip the second. So this actually flips over. So I write 28 m to the 4th n to the 5th on top, and on the bottom I have 25 k to the 8th n to the 6th. And then because the numbers are so big, I'm going to see if I can cancel. So I know that 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 goes into 25 5 times. And 4 goes into 8 twice, and 4 goes into 28 7 times. And if I look at the numbers, 3, 7, 2, and 5, I can't really divide them by anything. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 7 and get 21, and it is still a fraction. And 2 times 5 and get 10. And then I'm just going to go straight across the top, make it easy. M to the 12th, we have k, and I don't have any k's in the second fraction, so I'm just going to write k. And then I have that m to the 12th, and then I have m to the 4th, so I have m to the 16th. And then n, I take my 7 here, my 5 here, and I get 12. And then on the bottom I'm looking for alphabetical. So there's no k's in the first fraction, but there is k to the 8 in the second. So I'm going to put k to the 8th. And then I also have m over here to the 9th, so m to the 9th. And then n, I have 3 and 6 make 9. And then I'm going to look at simplifying. So if I have k on top and k8 on the bottom, I can cancel out k on the top and 1k on the bottom and make it 7. So my new fraction is going to be 21 over 10 still. And my k stays on the bottom because it was on the bottom and this exponent's bigger. So k to the 7th on the bottom. M, the m to the 16 is bigger on the top, so cross off 9 m's on the bottom, cross off 9 m's on the top, and I get 7. So that's m to the 7th. And then 12 is bigger than 9, so get rid of the 9 n's on the bottom. Get rid of 9 on the top, and I get 3. So my answer is 21 m to the 7th, n to the 3rd over 10 k to the 7th. And you notice there's one of each letter, so that is our final answer. Let's take a quick look at fractions that we're going to subtract and add. So adding and subtracting fractions with letters in them is no different than we were in elementary school, middle school, when we added fractions with unlike denominators. So we still need to find that common denominator. So if I have a 4 and a 6, some people like to multiply them together. 4 times 6 is 24. That is a common denominator. But if you look at it, if I take 12, I can divide it by 4 and 6 as well. So I'm going to take the least common multiple, or the lowest common denominator. So I'm going to take 12. And I need to multiply by 3, top and bottom. And on this other side, I need 6 times 2 is 12, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 2. And the other part I have to look for now is on the bottom, they have to have the same exponent for the letters. So if I have x and x squared, I need to multiply, I can't divide. So I have to take the biggest one. So x squared is bigger than x. So that means on the left-hand side, I need to multiply by an x, so I get x squared on the bottom. Then I'm just going to rewrite it. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. And 5 times 2 is 10, so that's plus 10 over. And on the bottom, 3 times 4 is my 12. X times x is my x squared. And then 6 times 2 is 12. And I have x squared already. And then I'm just going to add. So I have the common denominator is 12x squared, so I just need one of those. And then on the top, one has 9x squared, right? And that has x squared, but the 10 doesn't. So I have to leave it. So 9x squared plus 10. And that is my final answer. The last one in the first column we're going to look at is similar to the one we just did above. They're both plus. We can pretend later if it's a minus. In this case, it doesn't really matter if it's plus or minus, because then minus is going to go with the term on the left-hand fraction anyway. It's going to change a little when we get into the second column. But we still need that common denominator. So between 5 and 6, they have nothing in common. So we're just going to make it 30. And I'm going to multiply by 6 on this side. And then I need to multiply by 5 on this side. And remember that 6 over 6 is 1. So when we multiply by 6 over 6, it's not really changing the value of the fraction as much as it is changing those ratios. So the numbers just get bigger, but the actual ratio stays the same, actually. So we're not really changing 8 over 5x cubed, we're just making the numbers bigger. The other thing we need to look at is x cubed. So we said we have to get the biggest one because we can only multiply, we can't divide. So x cubed is bigger. So I have to multiply x squared by x, and that'll make x cubed. So let's go ahead and rewrite it. 6 times 8 is 48 over 6 times 5 is 30, x cubed, plus 7 times 5 is 35, and x times x is x squared, over 6 times 5 is 30, x squared times x is x cubed, and we combine those together, so 30 x cubed is our common denominator, and then on top, again, the 48 does not have x at all, and the 35 has x squared, so we can't really put them together. And what I would say is normally I'd write the x squared in the beginning. So I have 35x squared, and it was positive, so it stays positive. And then the 48 is really positive, we just don't write it, so that becomes plus 48. And there's our final answer. go ahead and check out video number 2. It'll show you how to do the more complicated second column.